There is a sickness in this world. That's useless. Try something else, perhaps. You think you can kill me that way?
No use. I need to try a different approach.
There is a sickness in this world, Miss Fry. It made our crew weak. But I am here now. I will tear into all sickness, all the rot and shit of this city, and rip it out. Come out, sister. Join Jack. I lose patience with your child's play. Cowering in the shadows, Miss Fry. Hiding, are we? Ha! I learned all your tricks from your brother, assassin. Are you cat or mouse, Miss Fry? As cowardly and inept as your twin. Shall be pure again. The assassins shall rise, and we shall rule. Are you cat or mouse, Miss Fry? Jacob thought he could hide from me too. Still think you can hide from me? Come out, sister. Join Jack. This is my time now. Jacob's is done, and you must choose. Cowering in the shadows, Miss Fry. Hiding, are we? Ha! I learned all your tricks from your brother, assassin. As cowardly and inept as your twin.
What?
Jack the Ripper cannot die! That woman thinks you're mad! Free yourselves! Kill that mad woman!
I know you blame Jacob for your mother's death, but nothing can excuse the horrors you've committed. Jacob was like a father to you, Jack. You have betrayed his trust and sullied the creed.
Show me your monster assassin! These lambs need slaughtering! You are weak assassin! A relic just like your precious creed. Cower before the new face of the assassins. legend will live forever.
Make a monster of me! You will not make a monster of me!
We're the same, you and I.
Oh, Jack. You were an assassin, yes, but we are not the same. And that is why your memory must be erased for all time. Rest in peace now, Jack. You and your twisted acolytes.
Jacob.
Miss Fry, what the hell happened here?
Nothing, Inspector. Nothing happened here. Trust me. Jack the Ripper's dead.
Inspector!
Now help me, Frederick. No one must ever know that Jack the Ripper was an assassin.
Inspector! The journalist! I want those vultures gone this instant, is that clear?
It's over, Jacob. I'm here.
Well, after a few hours and a lot of fucking around, we finally got to the reason why we showed up to this DLC in the first place. The end battle with Jack the Ripper. Conducted by none other than 15 years older Evie Fry. She's going after her and Jacob's long-lost assassin student who ended up becoming Jack the Ripper after a horrible tragedy befell his own mother, and then he just decided to get his revenge by slitting up random whores throughout London because reasons. And credit to Ubisoft, they did go out with a bang with Jack the Ripper. We ended up tracking him down to his old asylum where he went after his mother had been killed and he had to go through some mental problems, which unfortunately the asylum did not hammer out, so he became Jack the Ripper by the end of it all. We had to neutralize the patients of the asylum. We had to get a couple keys to the basement where we finally found Jacob Fry's eventual prison and Jack the Ripper's final battle spot. And again, unlike the other assassinations in the game, this one is an actual real-deal boss fight, although it's a real-deal boss fight from Ubisoft, who usually doesn't give much of a shit, but, you know, traditionally, it's a lot less gameplay than what we're getting today. Basically, it's a stealth 'em up, and Jack the Ripper apparently lost all of his supernatural powers very suddenly, because right now you can sneak up on him very, very easily, as long as he's not looking directly at you. Apparently, his supernatural hero steering also went out the window, because all you really need to do in this boss fight is wait for Jack to go around a corner, and then run up to him and hit the assassination button, which will trigger a QT-laden mess that will actually allow you to deal damage to the point of half of his health bar. You have to do this twice. And it's not like Jack the Ripper suddenly revolutionizes his attack repertoire once he's almost defeated. Really, once he's down for the count, he just summons a bunch of minions, you beat them up, and then Jack the Ripper is dead. It's a bit extra work from Ubisoft that really didn't produce much to be memorable about for this DLC. And while it is cute that we do get to see an actual boss fight attempt from Ubisoft, if you couldn't stick the landing, then don't try and put in the effort, Ubisoft. Just make this a regular assassination. You'll get the exact same sort of set piece that you were going for with this, and the same amount of feeling for the end of the story. Evie finally gets the comeuppance of Jack the Ripper, gets to prove that she is not the same as him, and finally just ends his Whitechapel reign of terror. And thankfully Jacob is actually alive, for whatever reason. Jack, the guy who was amazingly angry at Jacob Fry and blamed him for a lot of his own problems, did not go through the time to actually kill Jacob Fry, for an unhappy surprise for Evie Fry to find at the end of the game. After spending $15 on this DLC and the 3 hours that it took to finally finish it, at least we did get an ending out of it. It was the right amount of pomp and circumstance that we needed for the end of hunting down Jack the Ripper, for going through his real-life victims, for uncovering the assassination conspiracy conducted by Jack and all of his murdering facilities across Whitechapel. I don't know, I did like that Ubisoft put in the extra effort, but really, it's just not memorable. It's not really a lot to it. It's just a really simple boss fight, right down to the standards. I mean, Ubisoft didn't even try to put a new spin on it, and it's just QTEs and sneaking around. It would have been nice if, you know, getting the assassination on Jack the Ripper was actually difficult, but here, he's so oblivious to Evie Fry in all cases that unless you are literally standing right in front of Jack, he's not going to see it coming. And it just makes it too easy to outdo his entire supernatural murderer thing. It really should have come down to something more difficult and more bombastic. This really did not capture the whole anger at Jack the Ripper thing, trying to end this amazing reign of terror, and it just kind of felt substandard, even though it objectively was the part of the game where Ubisoft stuck a remarkable leveling up of its own skill, like a lot of its new effort. And it's just kind of sad that, you know, give them Jack the Ripper, like the legitimate Jack the Ripper story, and this is what it all comes down to. I still enjoyed the DLC, but there are definitely points where things could have been stacked up better by a different production house that wasn't Ubisoft, because Ubisoft just doesn't have the creative drive that other developers do, and it really just shows in a lot of the set pieces that come from amazing potential and just end up getting flubbed in their hands. It's good, but for Jack the Ripper, we really should have gone with amazing, Ubisoft. You know, something big and bold, something King Washington style, and not this. It doesn't hit the mark at all for what you should have went for.